Hi, good morning everyone. Welcome back to Pine Hollow Auto Diagnostics. Today we have a special quirky vehicle, 2004 GMC Envoy XUV. It's like a convertible SUV truck thing with red accent stripes. And guess what the customer complaint is? Nothing in the back works. Tailgate, window, power roof, windshield wiper, defogger, everything's locked out. We have a message in the DIC, C manual, tailgate. So fancy features obviously are not as reliable as a regular roof. So this truck only has 45,000 miles. He drove it up from North Carolina, like probably 9 hours away, just for this diagnosis. So let's see if we can get this roof working. Hopefully no parts required, but who knows. I did a full code scan here with the Think Tool Pros, and in the end gate module, never seen one of those before, we have a U1173, lost communication with movable roof module. Okay. And PRM, power roof module, you try to go in here, and no communication. Okay, that is great direction. I assume that all these systems are interrelated, so for example, if the tailgate or the end gate module doesn't know what position the roof it's in, it's going to disable pretty much everything. The control buttons up here, there's 4 control buttons. So this is for the regular sunroof, which works fine. Okay. And the tilt feature. Then we have 2 window motors. Now one is for the mid gate, one is for the end gate. You can see the mid gate is actually folded down. So this thing is kind of, this is the mid gate. Let's get this back up and, okay, so there's a window here too. So it converts from an SUV into a pickup truck. So there's the mid gate window. That works fine. Now power roof, no action. Kind of makes sense. We're missing communication with this power roof module. And the rear window, he said it goes down but not up. So it goes down, not up. And the message says close the roof when you try to close that rear window. So that's where we're going. We need to find out where this power roof module lives, why it's not talking. Kicker here is wiring diagrams on all data. This is such a rare truck that they only have wiring diagrams for the regular Envoy, not for this convertible roof. So I put in a library request to all data. Usually they're pretty good about getting that information. I need some OEM diagrams, fuses, at least, you know, communication lines. So that's where we are right now, and let's try to figure this one out. By the way, in the end gate module, if we want to close that rear window, we do have actuation test, window up and down, current control status. So if I hit down, put the scanner right here, so it's all the way down, so I can lift it up. So nothing wrong with the end gate functions, but nothing will work. For example, the rear wiper doesn't work there, but can we command the rear wiper? See, rear wiper on, and it does work with the scanner. So that just shows you how valuable a bidirectional scanner is in diagnostics. You wouldn't be able to check those functions with a regular code reader. So very huge advantage to have that. So right now I'm just suspecting this power roof module is offline. The tailgate doesn't know where the roof is and disables these functions. So data stream, let's see, input, output. And just see what's available here. End gate key cylinder, drop latch switch, lock command, rear wiper, requested rear wiper. So if I turn the knob, the request changes, but the relay command is off because this thing says close roof. Okay, so I need some wiring diagrams or at least a power distribution to start checking fuses, and I don't even know where this module lives. Gotta do some research. We'll wait for all data. Well, here's where we are right now in the bed / trunk of the XUV, and I assume this is the power lift gate or power roof module. There's the part number. We have some connectors here. I don't know what's what. I assume orange is power, black is ground on this big connector. And then we have 9 wires on this connector. You go up in here. So let's do some more poking around on the wiring diagrams. All data, I think, responded. Let's see if they sent anything useful. Alright, so we have some more information thanks to all data. Not everything, but very helpful. So here's our connector. I don't know what connector number this is, but looking at this diagram, it looks like it's C321. So this is our power roof module. Again, incomplete view. You got the dotted line, but we can at least write down some of the pins for C321. The ones I'm really interested in: powers, grounds, and communication. So we have pin F is a purple class 2, and again here it says orange, and it doesn't say C321F, but in the the redrawn diagrams for computer data lines, power roof module rear of sunroof assembly, it goes from orange to purple through this mystery connector. That has to be our connector. Now, battery positive on pin E. That would be this one right here. Comes from roof fuse 25 10 amp. And then connector C322 A and B. That's the fat wires. Again, battery positive and ground on there. So let's check. At least start with this one. Check we have power and ground at the main, the fat wires. Check this power, and then we should see why we have no communication. If those check out and this one checks out, then we're going after class 2, see if there's any signal on that class 2 line. Alright, first check. Power and ground on connector C322. Nice bright lights. That checks out. Now let's take this pin and probe this orange wire. Right there with a needle probe, and make sure those wires match up there. Alright, so 4 amp test light now. I have it hooked up, or a known good ground. Test light works. Let's check this orange wire on this pin. Ta-da, we have a light. So we can start checking these off. So check, check, check. Now these 3, I don't know where they go, because It says the only ground is through C2. And usually GM is pretty good about doing powers and grounds, you know, on one area of the diagram. So we can put a scope on this purple class 2 wire on pin F, see what that shows. Alright, we got our little handy oscilloscope out. This is a 2-channel portable unit by ZEEWEII. So let's check that the scope works. I'm just going to touch a power feed. Yep, there's 12 volts. And now let's go to that purple wire. The key is on, so the class 2 should be talking. Yep, we definitely have communication. And we can zoom in, lower the time base. So I don't see anything wrong with this wiring. And you can see it's 0 to 7 volts. That's perfect. Why is this thing not talking? I guess we have to go in here and try to find the actual module, see what's going on inside. Okay, so 2 Phillips screws. This plastic cover lifts up a bit, but the roof is in the way. And we can kind of see the module is right there. So there's one connector that's looks like 18 pins, and then there's this fatter one that's just 4 pins. And at the module, you know, C1 is the 18 pin connector, and C2 is the 4 pin. Let's do some voltage checks right here. I can get my probe right in there on those wires, and we'll see if we find anything interesting. Alright, here we go. Let's start with powers and grounds. So C1 pin 10, that'll be a gray wire on the module side. We'll take a look at the scope there. See if the power is getting to C1 pin 10. Right there. Yep, we have 12 volts there. Okay. C2 pin C, that's going to be a green wire. Yep, that's 9.2 volts, so that's interesting. Let me see, this is good battery voltage right here. C2 pin C. Yeah, that's a little low, isn't it? Only 9.2. So I'm going to write that down. 9.2 volts. Keep that in mind. What about the ground? C2 pin D should be a black wire. Whoa! 10.9 volts on the ground? Well, that's going to be a problem. There's 10.9 volts on here. Okay. We want to check anything else? Let's check the communication. That's going to be pin 13 orange wire. Yep, we got our 0 to 7 volt. So that looks okay. So I'm worried about these main powers and grounds at this connector. So I'm going to put my probe on the ground wire. It's battery voltage. That's crazy. And then the power wire. It's that 9.2. Okay, well, now I can plug that in. I got excited. Sorry. Make sure to plug everything in before you do your checks. That's a good ground. Measure that power wire again. Huh. Make sure your scope ground is connected. Just a second. Okay, checking that power again. C2. Let's see. C2 pin C, the green wire. Yeah, that's good. That's 12 volts. It's good ground now. So are we ready to call this power roof module? I mean, everything checks out. Power ground communication. Let's try talking to it one more time. Nope, no communication there. And I'm sure the DIC says, yep, tailgate. Let me do a couple more checks, make sure we're 100% here. Maybe take this thing off, see if we got water intrusion maybe, and that'll be that. Alright, so to get to this module, we need to open this roof. Can we do that with the module being offline? I think there's a chance. So this connector with the 4 fat wires, we know we have powers and grounds, and the other two, the blue and the purple, go to the power roof motor. So unless there's anything else that's fancy about this, I think we can just give one wire power, the other wire ground. This motor should go one way or another. We can switch them back and forth. See what happens. Alright, here's my simple little setup. So the blue is going to be a ground, and I have it run to here, to this blue wire that goes to the motor. The other side, power, through a fuse, it's going to go to this purple wire. Let's see what happens if that motor activates. Just do a quick touch. Okay, you tried to do something. Let's try to go the other way. So what we need to do is put ground on the purple and power on the blue. Wow. Sweet. Now we can get this stupid thing out of the way, and we can get to this module. Well, let's keep driving the roof over. Yeah, that doesn't really help. Let's try to go the other way. So ground out blue. Put this in the purple. Perfect. Okay, so now I should be able to pop this module off of here and do a visual inspection on it. And if it all checks out, then tell the owner it's shot. We need a new one of these. Let me see how to get that one out. Alright, easy enough. Just had a little tab there, you slide it to the side. Let's open it up, see if there's anything interesting in here. Well, here's the guts of the power roof module. I don't see any burn marks or green crusties or cracked solder joints. Nothing at all that would scream unbroken. Conformal coating, everything's nice. So, I don't know, let's plug it in just like this, see if we can get anything changes. Alright, so the module is plugged back in. Just for kicks, let's try to enter that one more time. No comm. End gate module, that definitely talks. Yep, lost communication with movable roof module. Class 2 data link malfunction. Not much more else to check. Just for kicks, we can check this 12 volt reference and the low reference wire power roof motor. These are Hall effect sensors in here, like positioning sensors. So right at the module, let's see if pin C1, pin 18 is 12 volts, and if the yellow is a ground, again on our scope, go to pin 12 right there. Yep, that's 12 volts, and the yellow right next to it, definitely a good ground. I checked it with the test light too. So that's it. This thing is just not talking. There's the part number. Where the heck are you going to get one of these? We can try. It's fairly easy to access if you can manually energize the motor, which, you know, I'll show the owner how to do that. But that's it. That's the diagnosis. Magic box went bad. Oh well. Alright, time for a little bonus footage on the GMC Envoy XUV. So, the owner here, he's staying at a hotel. He was going to leave, make the trip back down North Carolina. I told him the module for the roof we can't find it. So, kind of a sad ending. But the owner here said, can you rig something up so I can at least open my tailgate without relying on all these silly, stupid modules? Right, William?
That's exactly right.
So I'm like, okay. Oh, and by the way, before they were ready to leave, the rear window just rolled down on its own, and that's not fun either. So we're gonna disconnect this end gate module and figure out a way to rig up the existing wiring, so when you push this button right here, it unlatches these two actuators so you can swing the tailgate open. Now, the only drawback is you won't be able to lock the car. Anytime you push the button, it'll be active and you'll be able to open the trunk. But since it's kind of an enclosed compartment, it's like a bed of a pickup truck, the owner said he won't leave anything valuable back here and it'll be perfectly fine. So it took a little bit of research on the wiring diagrams to figure out what to connect to what. So let's take a look at the diagram. We have our end gate actuator, upper left, lower left, and upper right. This tailgate can either swing down or swing out or fold down. We want it to swing out, so we need to activate the upper left and the lower left at the same time. So now let's see where, where the power comes from. It comes from power latch fuse 19 through this end gate latch relay, which is switched by the end gate module. We want to eliminate the module completely, make this manual, simple, reliable. So what I'm going to do is just jump pins 87 and 30. So we're going to send constant power to these actuators. And then when they're grounded, they're going to activate. So originally they're grounded through the end gate control module, right? Based on the drivers in here. We want to ground them through this end gate switch swing handle switch. Just a simple button, again, that's tied to the end gate module there, and low reference end gate module there. So that's exactly what I have, so first, jump the power wire, this is battery power all the time, to the dark green. That's going to power up the actuators. Then they're looking for a ground, and the ground, you know, it used to go to the end gate module, but these two pins, pins 13 and 14, this white and black and tan and black, we want to ground these through the button. So you see I have two jumpers right there, and they're all tied together, and the button is on these two wires, this dark and green, and then the blue is coming back from the button. You can actually see it right here. Those are the right wires. So, you know, the current's going that way through the button. When you push the button, it's coming back on the blue, and the blue is just grounded out to this constant ground. Let's see if it works. So I'm going to pretend we're latching our tailgate. 1, 2. When we push the button, bingo, they both unlatched. That's what the owner wants to do. So we're going to make this permanent, and I don't see why it shouldn't work. We're just going to have to seal everything up really well, because this might get a little wet from you know, corrosion or whatever. But he lives in North Carolina, so I don't think salt will be too big of a problem. Okay, so we got everything finalized with the soldering iron. So these 3 wires coming from the 2 actuators are tied into the button, going to the button, and then from the button to this ground. So you can see I chopped off necessary wires, so they'll be easy to restore if the owner decides to do that. And that blue wire is just spliced into this constant battery ground. We want to make sure to seal up very well all the positives, like right here, this orange and the green, shrink wrap with this, you know, glue in it, press it together, nice and sealed. So there, 1, 2, basically 3 points, and I just plug this in to avoid any, you know, to seal up the connector. And then the last connector here, the main power feed, I just tape this up. We can pull a couple of fuses to disable power to the module, but that's just going to hang out here. And let's see if it works. Latch, latch, push the button. Beautiful. I think the owner's gonna be pretty excited about this hack. Yeah, he's gonna be open his trunk for the first time in.
That's the first time I've seen it open.
How long have you owned this thing?
Several months.
Several months. Okay.
Yes.
Yep. So it'll actually be usable.
Yep.
So we're gonna put this panel back on, and I think that's it. All right, we're all back together. Go ahead, William.
Okay.
Shut it. Okay, it's latched. And oh man,
that's a miracle.
That's a miracle.
that is pretty cool.
That is awesome.
Yes, it is.
I like it. So we got both latches on the same circuit. The plan came together, right?
Yep. That's exactly right.
And the glass is happy, you know, won't rub the roof for too much or anything. Let's see here. Yeah, I'd say it's reasonable. That rubber gasket might maybe put a little silicone on there or something. I mean, maybe we could. I guess we can't do it now. We could drop the window like 2 millimeters, make it close a little easier. But that's it. Thanks a lot for watching.
Thank you.
Russian hack workaround. That's the only thing I could offer, and that works for the owner.
As long as it works.
Yeah, it works.
As long as it works.
Yep.